What's up EFD and welcome back to Euro Transfer Talk, the brand new show where we look at all the rumours circulating around the continent. Unlike our show on FD, we're focusing only on clubs in the rest of Europe here, and if you hear anything yourself, don't forget to tweet the Football Daily account or myself at Mike McCubb, and of course hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video. Let's get started. We begin at Real Madrid, who are fresh from a rejuvenating 1-0 win over Sevilla at the weekend. However, talk of a move away for one of their youngsters has also come to the fore recently, with AS reporting that 18-year-old attacker Rodrigo is in limbo at the Bernabeu. The young Brazilian impressed in pre-season for Los Blancos, but hasn't been handed a single minute of game time so far this campaign, with Zinedine Zidane also deeming him too good to play for the youth team. Rodrigo only arrived in Spain this summer, following his €45 million switch from Santos, and has a 6-year contract with the 33-time Liga champions. But according to reports, PSG are monitoring the youngster's situation. However, the Qatar-owned club are also in the grip of financial fair play and will have to make further sales if they want to exercise their option to buy on Mauro Icardi next summer. So somehow we feel a move for a highly valued youngster who is yet to prove himself on European soil is probably a bit far-fetched. Our second rumour this week involves a player who could be moving in the opposite direction from Liga to La Liga. One of the stories of the 2019-20 season has been the rise of 16-year-old Eduardo Camavinga, who has featured prominently for Rennes this term. Despite his tender years, the Angola-born midfielder has been practically ever-present for Julian Stéphan's side, getting subbed off for the first time this season in the club's 1-1 draw with Lille on the weekend, and came to the attention of the footballing world after their 2-1 win over PSG in August, in which he dominated the centre of the park and provided an assist. His eye-catching displays have already seen him linked with moves to the Premier League and to AC Milan, but now it appears Real Madrid are interested in the youngster, with the Spanish giants in need of midfield renewal over the next 2 years. And given his form this season, Camavinga could be a good option for the future. The teenager has averaged an impressive 4.4 tackles and interceptions per game, the best in the Rennes squad, and is also completing around 90% of his passes, which is very promising in a side which averages less than half possession in matches. However, having just signed a new contract to keep him at the club until 2022, Camavinga will cost Real, and they may be better off spending big on an established talent rather than someone who will be approaching their peak in 7 years. But what do you think? Can you see the kid getting a big move in the next 12 months? Let us know in the comments. Speaking of rebuilding midfields, it appears that over at rivals Barcelona, the hierarchy are still not satisfied, despite the club investing in Artur and Frenkie de Jong in the last 18 months. The Barca midfield is still relatively old on average, with Arturo Vidal, Ivan Rakitic and Sergio Busquets all on the wrong side of 30, and the Blaugrana have struggled in the centre during the opening exchanges of the season. And so on the weekend, Director of Football Eric Abidal travelled to Italy to watch Napoli's Fabian Ruiz, suggesting he is the Blaugrana's next big target. The Spanish midfielder was deployed as a DM during the Under-21 Euros in the summer, but can also play further forward and on either flank, and started on the right for the Partenopé's 4-1 victory over Lecce, in which he also scored. This versatility makes him an attractive option for the Catalan club, who have always favoured fluidity in the middle of the park, and the fact he averages 3 tackles and interceptions, 2.5 shots and over a key pass per game means he would make a great all-round partner for de Jong and Artur. After first making a name for himself under Quique Setién at Real Betis, Ruiz moved to Napoli for €30 million in 2018, and the 23-year-old has excelled in Serie A since. With a contract running until 2023, the Andalusian is valued at over €70 million, so Barca will have to stump up yet more serious cash if they want to land their man. Over to Juventus, who had one of the more strange transfer windows this summer. They brought in Aaron Ramsey and Adrien Rabiot on frees, landed Matthijs de Ligt and generally rejuvenated the centre of defence, but failed in their attempts to revamp an attack, which provided the club's worst Serie A goals return since 2012 last season. A big part of that was their inability to shift Paulo Dybala, who incidentally had a poor 2018-19 campaign by his own lofty standards, with the Argentinian forward rejecting Man United and Tottenham to stay in Turin. And despite making his first start of the season on the weekend, the old lady are still keen to sell him. According to Sky Sports, Dybala could even leave the club in January should they find a suitor. And while manager Maurizio Sarri was impressed with his performance against Hellas Verona, he has generally preferred playing Gonzalo Higuain up top this season. But where do you think the 25-year-old should go? Let us know in the comments below. One of the stars of the 2019 Copa America, Brazilian forward Everton Soares picked up the Golden Boot and scored in the final as the Seleção won the tournament on home soil. So it's rather surprising that no big clubs made a serious pursuit for the 23-year-old this summer. Arsenal were interested back in July but were put off by his €80 million release clause, whilst AC Milan have had a long-standing interest in him dating back to Leonardo's time as sporting director. And according to Calcio Mercato, the Rossoneri are still keen on bringing Everton across the Atlantic to the San Siro, just as the attacker is hitting elite form, with 4 goals and 3 assists in his last 3 appearances for Gremio. On average, he is contributing to a goal every 98 minutes this season, while Milan have scored just 2 in 4 games, so it's probably no surprise they remain interested. Gremio are currently trying to negotiate a contract extension for the winger, and his release clause remains the same. But with Everton apparently keen on the switch, it's understood that Milan may be able to negotiate a fee of around €45 million for him. Watch this space. We finish up with Monaco, who have carried on their struggles from the 2018-19 season into the new campaign. They are yet to win in 6 Ligue 1 matches this season, have conceded 2 or more in 5 of those games, and are sitting 19th in the table, already 2 points off safety. So unsurprisingly, manager Leonardo Jardim is under pressure, with L'Équipe even stating that the Portuguese coach could be sacked this week. The man who led them to a title and Champions League semi-final in 2017 has endured a terrible second stint as Monegasque's boss, managing a woeful 21% win ratio since taking the job from Thierry Henry in January. And the figure lined up to replace him is none other than Claude Puel, who spent his entire playing career at the Stade Louis before winning Ligue 1 as coach in 2001. Puel has played down the rumours but did reveal in a recent interview that he came close to returning to Monaco on 2 previous occasions and would be open to working for the club again in the future. If Jardim continues to disappoint, it could be the imminent future. So that's all we have time for on this week's Euro Transfer Talk, but what did you make of them? Are they likely to happen? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, why not click on screen right now? And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.